Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next session on product inspection solutions for food safety compliance. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Robert Rogers. He's the Senior Advisor, Food Safety and Regulations for Product Inspection Division at Mettler-Toledo. During Robert's 25 years of experience of various commercial and technical roles within Mettler-Toledo, he has facilitated customers' development of food safety programs around Mettler-Toledo's technology. In this strategic role, Robert provides clients with expertise in the fields of current regulations and compliance within the food industry as they relate to the product inspection solutions. He also does consultancy and covers areas such as process capabilities, validation, and verification, maximize efficiencies through proper system identification and placements, all within the scope of customers' limitations and resources. Over to you, Robert.
Thank you for joining today. My name is Robert Rogers, Senior Advisor for Food Safety and Regulation with Mettler-Toledo's Product Inspection Division. Today we'll be looking at the importance and value of a robust product inspection program. Starting off with a look at recalls and their impact, the globalization of the food trade, then we'll look into metal detection and X-ray inspection as a way to help prevent recalls, and finally, the importance of digitalization of our food safety programs. For this presentation, we're defining a food safety breach as when a food product has been identified as containing a foreign body. However, a food safety breach includes bacterial contamination, labeling errors, including missing allergen declarations and incorrect expiration dates, or the declared weight of the product is not correct. Ultimately, it's when the product is presented in the marketplace and it's unsafe or not as advertised. Any breach detected by the consumer or retailer could result in an involuntary recall for the brand owner or manufacturer. However, there are instances where the manufacturer, for safety reasons, will want to issue a voluntary recall. Each year, month, week, we are all constantly notified in the media about high-profile recalls. These range from glass food jars, which due to a packaging flaw, a small piece of glass may have broken off into the product, to dense plastics breaking off from the packaging machinery, or metal filings from eroded sieves entering the product during the processing. And of course, there are many, many more. Recalls, whether voluntary or involuntary, not only affect the brand owner, but all businesses or individuals involved in the supply chains, all the way from the farm to the manufacturer, the processor, regulators, consumers, and potentially the future security of the business and its employees. For the brand owner and/or manufacturer, a recall impacts their present and future business, including the cost and time involved to recall a product, investigate the root cause and implement corrective and preventive measures to keep it from happening again. However, the implications are far more immense than simply protecting bottom-line profits, as depending on the severity of the breach, it can lead to fines, criminal prosecutions, and irretrievable damage to the brand's reputation. For consumers, physical contamination poses a health risk and ultimately reduces the trust and confidence in a brand or product. Depending on the scale and scope of the breach, as an example, the severity of the foreign body, the vulnerability profile of the consumer group, like infants, elderly, and the immune compromised, and the number of brands involved and export destinations, the reputation of the food industry as an entirety or country can be tarnished. We have all heard of recalls of some form or another. Many studies have been conducted around the consumer's confidence and purchasing habits after they become aware of a product recall. On the positive side, 70% of consumers are likely to purchase brands who communicate commitment to food safety. So not only having a good food safety and product inspection process in place, but communicating those commitments can have a positive impact. On the other side, up to 64% of consumers are unlikely to purchase from a brand for 6 to 12 months after a recall. And if you're in a seasonal business, this could be catastrophic. 15% may never purchase that product again, according to some studies. Clearly, you can see the importance of preventing recalls to a business, and that's just scratching the surface. This map shows the trade patterns between various locations around the world. Globalization of the food trade network has led to a highly complex set of cross-border import and exports, which has driven the need for global food safety standards. Many markets export to the U.S., and as the orange and red lines show, which is why the FDA's Food Safety Modernization Act is so important to our industry all around the world. Part of the Food Safety Modernization Act that has a global impact is the Foreign Supplier Verification Program, or FSVP. The FDA has graduated from an educational mindset to that of enforcement. In fact, FSVP violations were among the top 5 most cited violations from the FDA in 2020. The FSVP shifts the burden of ensuring the safety of imported foods directly onto the importers and their foreign suppliers. Under FDA's FSVP rule, foreign food importers must have in place adequate FSVP plan that ensures their foreign food suppliers are meeting the same food safety standards the FDA requires of domestic food manufacturers. In today's food manufacturing environments, there are risks for physical contamination from the farm to the fork. Contaminated raw materials make their way into the product. The processing equipment itself can also be a risk. As an example, a sifting screen breaking or a damaged mixing or blending equipment causing contamination. Metal detection inspection solutions are utilized to remove unwanted metal contaminants from products in the food segment. Metal contamination supports all major retailer codes of practice and international food safety standards, including the BRCGS, IFS, SQF, and FSSC 22000, providing assurances the product is free from ferrous, non-ferrous, and stainless steel type metal contamination. Applications throughout the process include inline bulk flow and pump product inspections, as well as end-of-the-line finished product inspections, protecting your brand integrity. Metal detection systems work on a conductivity principle, where anything of a conductive nature passing through the detector may have an effect. Ferrous is more conductive than stainless steel, so typically, ferrous is easier to detect than stainless steel. The product may have conditions such as temperature, moisture percentage, acidity, and salt content. These factors can have an influence on the system, especially if these areas in the product are inconsistent. Some of the other factors affecting the performance include the size of the detector opening. The larger the opening, the less sensitive the device. As many contaminants will be irregular in shape, it is important to have an understanding of orientation effect as well. Metal as a foreign material is not the only risk we need to consider. X-ray inspection solutions are designed to remove unwanted contamination, including metal, glass, mineral stone, calcified bone, and dense plastics from all types of product in the food industry. Applications include bulk flow and pumped applications, as well as end-of-the-line finished product inspections, which is becoming more popular for not only contamination, but other quality attributes such as fill level, component verification, as well as mass measurement and seal inspections. X-ray inspection systems work on a density principle, where the density of the contaminant must be greater than the density of the product to be recognized. The X-rays produce an image of the product similar to a medical X-ray at the doctor. In this case, the doctor is the software where the image is analyzed for defects. Because the system is working on density variations, unlike metal detectors, the conductive nature of the product has no effect on the performance of the X-ray. Changes in the product temperature or moisture do not affect the X-ray's performance. X-ray technology is not perfect. Organic materials like insect and hair are not detectable, and detection capabilities towards aluminum are challenged due to the low density of aluminum. This list provides an overview of typical materials and their specific gravity as it relates to density. The less dense the material, the more difficult to identify in the X-ray inspection. Wood, for example, is a very hard substance. Think of a hard baseball bat. However, wood is not very dense material, making it undetectable in an X-ray application. A complete foreign material program prevention detection program will include prevention measures, good maintenance, and both metal detection and X-ray inspection to protect against the widest range of potential physical contaminations. Inspection technologies have advanced to detect a wider range of contaminants in smaller shapes and sizes with better resolution and lower false reject rates. Software has also evolved to improve setup times through automation capabilities and enhance operational time via easy-to-use, intuitive touchscreen displays. An additional consideration is the digitalization within your production facility. Connected manufacturing across networked infrastructures enables you to access inspection data on other devices and facilitates remote control of systems. Technology called Open Platform Communications is available, which enables you to seamlessly integrate all of your data. Digitalization further supports your food safety efforts through providing transparent traceability to most stakeholders. Product inspection systems are often identified as critical or preventive control devices. Historically, we've seen product inspection devices such as metal detectors, checkweighers, X-ray, and vision inspection systems located near the end of the food processes, typically after the product is in the final packaging. This, of course, makes sense when you think about some of the inspections. As an example, if we're inspecting for the presence of a proper expiration code or confirming compliance with proper weight declarations, the final step in the process makes sense. You may also feel that inspecting with metal detection and X-ray inspection makes sense at this location. However, let's consider root cause investigations. Identifying a non-conforming product at the end of the line requires a look back through the entire value chain to identify the root cause. Most food safety programs include requirements for corrective action implementation. The root cause could be from the supplier, or it could have been caused during transport. It's also possible the issue occurred at some point in the production process itself, making it very difficult to identify the true source so proper corrective action and preventive measures can be implemented. Inspections throughout the process will help to ensure non-conforming items are removed as early in the process as possible. It should start with ensuring non-conforming items are controlled at the supplier. Once the material is in-house, there could be an inspection inspecting raw materials at the batching stage. This will help to remove any non-conforming items at the beginning stages, as well as make it easy to identify the root cause. There is opportunity during further processing as well. Inspections of filling materials in a pipeline application will remove unwanted items prior to filling them into further value-added commodities. During primary production is also a good location, especially when deployed right after high-risk processes such as grinding or a blending stage. And finally, at the packaging stage, where hopefully all the non-conforming items have been previously removed, as a final inspection. However, finding a non-conformance at this stage is the most wasteful, as all the ingredients, time, energy, effort, packaging material have been added, and a reject at this point is a complete waste of that resource. More than likely, you'll have needs for measurement instruments in other areas of your business, such as your laboratory, production, manufacturing, or logistics operations. We invite you to visit our website at mt.com to learn about all of our innovative and broad-serving solutions for all areas of your business. Thank you for joining today, and if you have further questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert, for an insightful session. For all the questions that we've got, and for everyone who wants to ask any question to Robert, he and his team will be available at the e-booth of Mettler-Toledo. I request everyone to please ask questions there. Thank you.